Most people never get to an 850 credit score, but if you follow this blueprint, you could be one of the few. Almost nobody knows this, but there's a hidden formula that the credit bureau uses to decide who gets that mythical, untouchable 850 credit score. And here's the shocking part. It's not about being rich, it's not about paying all your debt, and it's definitely not about never using credit. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact steps in the exact order that the banks and lenders reward with a perfect credit score. Now stick with me, because if you even miss one of these steps, you can kiss that 850 credit score goodbye. But before we jump into this, make sure to drop the word 850 in the comments if you're chasing perfection. Now there are going to be 7 very important steps in this video that you do not want to miss, so let's jump in. Now step number 1, the number 1 myth that's killing your credit dreams. Now most people think that an 850 means 0 debt, and that in fact is wrong, because having no accounts or no balances makes you invisible to the credit system. Now the formula actually requires you use credit, but the right way. Credit scoring is all about showing you can manage credit, not avoid it. So if paying everything off isn't the secret, what is? Let's talk about utilization. Now step number 2, the magic number for utilization. Now you've heard me talk about this before. I personally like to carry 0% utilization because I don't want to owe anybody any money. It's just that simple, and I don't like to pay interest. But the fact remains, the sweet spot is not 0. It's around 1 to 7% utilization on revolving credit. Now, what is revolving credit? That's credit cards and solely credit cards. Nothing else matters in utilization except for credit cards. And that also means if you have a $10,000 credit card, you want to show about $100 to $700 on your statement date, because that's the signal to the credit bureaus that you know how to handle credit without abusing it. But remember, as I said earlier, the moment you report more than 0% utilization, you are in fact paying interest fees. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to give the bank free money. Now, I want you to comment the word utilization if you're learning something new right now. But utilization is just one piece. What the bureaus value even more is payment history. Moving on to step number 3 is the hidden weight of payment history. 35% of your credit score comes down to one simple question. Did you pay on time? Every time. Perfect scores have 0 late payments, not even one. And here's the kicker. Even a 30-day late from 5 years ago can block you from hitting 850. Now here's where most people lose points without even realizing it. Now moving into step number 4, age of credit and the secret backdating trick. Now length of credit history is huge because the average 850 scorer has at least one account over 10 years old. But here's the secret trick. Becoming an authorized user on someone else's old, clean account instantly backdates your credit history. That's how you can borrow time and fast track your credit scores. But hold up, what about applying for new cards? Doesn't that hurt you? Let's clear that up real quick. Now moving on to step number 5, new credit and inquiries. Now I'm gonna answer the big question. Yes, inquiries matter, but not as much as people think. 1 or 2 pulls? Not a big deal. Multiple inquiries in a short time? That's where you get dinged. Perfect scores apply strategically, spacing applications at least 6 months apart. Now we've covered the basics, but here's where the true secret formula comes in. Moving on to step number 6, credit mix and the 2-tier strategy. Now understand, you can't just have credit cards. You need a mix, revolving cards and installment loans like an auto loan or a mortgage. But that doesn't mean you have to get a mortgage. I'm just using it as an example. And it also doesn't mean that you have to have 50 credit cards. Like me, I'm just a person that stacks points to travel for free. I have a crazy strategy that I use that's completely different. But perfect scorers usually have 3 to 5 credit cards, 1 to 2 installment loans, and they manage them flawlessly. This combination is what rounds out the score to get to an 850. Now here's the final piece and what separates a 780 from an 850. The final step 7, the patience factor. Nobody wants to hear this, but the truth is you can do everything right, but the system still rewards patience. Because perfect credit scores didn't get there in a year. It's the consistency, the time, and the discipline. I cannot stress it enough to you about discipline. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using Dispute Beast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with the 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Luis. Luis's credit score went up 261 points after just one round with Dispute Beast. And Jency's credit score went up 225 points after just one round with Dispute Beast. But let's not forget James. James's credit score went up 207 points after just one round with Dispute Beast. Dispute Beast's link is going to be in the video description and pinned at the top of the comments for anyone that needs to fix their credit. And here's the even crazier part about even trying to get to an 850, that people do not understand that, one, it's going to take time. Your age of credit is one of the most powerful things that nobody really talks about. You need to let your credit age, because some people will get to like an 800, an 820, an 830, and they say, well, I'm not going anywhere. I haven't moved, because you keep applying for credit. Remember what I just said earlier, because I continue to play the credit card game of points and miles, I'm adding credit to my credit profile. So it's reducing that average age of credit. And what happens is I'll get to an 850 and it'll drop me right back down. And this is why I tell everybody, just sit still, be patient. And the more milestones that you break, so let's say for instance, hypothetically, your credit card's at 5 years. Now it just hit 6, 7 years. With those years of increments, that's what gets you closer to an 850. The only true way to break past all of this is to become an authorized user on someone's aged credit card. So if that credit card's been open for 15, 20 plus years, and then you add it to your credit profile, what's gonna happen is it's going to push that average age of credit to the moon. And that's what's gonna push you to the stratosphere also, where your credit score is going to go to an 850, and then your auto score and your credit card score is going to go past an 850, because a lot of people do not realize that you can in fact go past an 850 with an industry specific credit score. It's totally possible. When I bought my BMW motorcycle, they told me, oh, you came in at an 863. I was like, that's crazy. And he said, that's why you got top tier lending. You got the lowest interest rate possible. I got a 2.99%. And people were like, well, how did you get that? Why are they offering it? Because I have a top tier credit score. So it does matter. There's a huge difference between a 740, or let's say hypothetically a 750 to an 850 credit score. People say, oh, it doesn't matter. You're going to get the same interest rate. That's not true anymore. In the past it was, but when we get to times where economic issues are huge and they're seeing more defaults than ever, they're going to go and lean more towards the people with top tier credit that are at those 800s and 850s. And that's exactly why I say patience is key, because once you're locked in and you stop applying for credit, you're like, man, yeah, I got there in no time. Now, there's this other theory that I want to cover real quick. I don't want to make this too long, but a lot of people think, well, if I continue to add more credit cards, that's more positive payment history, that's more low utilization that's going to report. Well, no, it's not going to speed up the process unless, here's the big but, if you add all of those credit cards at the exact same time frame. So if you can get approved for 4 to 6 credit cards at one time, this is another little secret hack that a lot of people don't really understand how to do. You literally will just open up a bunch of multiple laptops and you'll apply for the credit cards at the same time, or you could do them within days apart, because it will all hit at the same exact time and you won't have such a massive drop in your credit score. That can help you, but it's very risky, because then you got a bunch of credit cards that you have to manage. This is why I say it's not common for everyday people. Just stick to the easy path and let your credit age. Last part's the most important. But most people can hit an 800 within 5 to 7 years, but an 850, that's the long game. Now let's put up my credit score on the screen so everyone can see this. This is my FICO score 8 right here. As you can see, I'm an 827 with Equifax, an 838 with TransUnion, and an 822 with Experian. And what I can tell you from my personal experience, I have consistently hit 850 and then it bounces back down every time I add a new account, because I'm reducing the average age of credit, because like I said before, I'm churning credit card points to travel for free. This strategy will always keep me below below an 850 until I stop applying for credit cards or any type of lending. Understand that part. Patience is the key. And again, like I said, I'm doing this for a specific reason. You don't have to do it. You only need 2 to 5 credit cards at max. But now you know the exact formula, which is perfect payment history, 1 to 7% utilization, old accounts, strategic inquiries, and the right credit mix over time. That is how you hit the elusive 850 credit score. And make sure to drop 850 in the comments one more time if that's your goal. And don't forget, the real game is not just getting a score, it's using that score to build wealth. Now, if you have any collections, charge-offs, or negative items that you need to delete from your credit reports, make sure to watch this video right here because it's gonna teach you how AI will do all the work for you, mail the letters, and it comes with a 110% money back guarantee. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.